So in this video, I'm mainly going to be going over the BLUETTI Charger 1 and my thoughts after having this thing installed in my vehicle for a little bit of time now. I picked up this BLUETTI power station as well as this Charger 1 during Black Friday when they were running some end of the year sales. I've had about 6 months to kind of run this BLUETTI power station. The Charger 1, I'm just now getting around to putting in my vehicle, and I had it for about a month now. So I want to give you some thoughts and impressions on how to use this thing and whether it's worth going with the Charger 1, and kind of give you some thoughts as to whether this Charger 1 was actually worth it in my opinion. Now the real reason I actually went ahead and considered picking up this Charger 1 instead of just plugging this thing into power in the house or just running it off a solar panel is when we go to camping trips or running around farmers markets and things like that where I actually use this power station, I don't always have access to grid power to be able to plug this thing in if I need extra power at the end of the trip. And not to mention the solar panel, at least the one I picked up, is only 200 watts. And if you're on a cloudy day or you're on a stretch where it's kind of been raining for a few days, it makes it extremely hard to get these things plugged back up and running. However, with this BLUETTI Charger 1 and then being able to charge this at basically almost 600 watts essentially from the truck while it's running, I can have this thing charged up in a couple hours easily running down the road, or if I just need to let the vehicle run to charge this back up, I have that capability as well. But as far as the install goes, I'm not going to show you really a lot of the install. I'll throw some shots up just kind of how the install went for me, but all the vehicles are going to be completely different. There are a couple things I wanted to touch on though in terms of the actual cable that they supply with the BLUETTI, and a couple suggestions I have based on what I saw when I got it out of the box. Now the first thing I noticed was that BLUETTI, for whatever reason, puts the breaker that's on the cable for the positive wire at the end of the run, making the breaker to ultimately be back here by the Charger 1. If you see any other install videos out there, you've probably seen it installed this way, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you that's kind of a bad practice based on my experience as being a mechanic for years and then also having some car audio installation experience as well. You want to put that breaker as close to the battery as you can get. So it's pretty easy to just take that breaker off. You can make a splice in the wire and put the supplied breaker up under the hood somewhere, or you can do like I did and just purchase your own circuit breaker, because I really wasn't a fan of the BLUETTI circuit breaker to begin with. But that's ultimately what I did, was I have it right off the battery. That's going to give you the safest install possible, just in case that positive wire ever gets nicked and touches against the frame, or if you have a rub somewhere. It's going to prevent you a lot of problems going down the road. It was really the only gripe I had when it came to the Charger 1 getting it out of the box. Everything else went extremely smoothly. The install's pretty easy. Now, as far as hooking this thing up goes, you've just got your positive and negative on the side here that you need to plug into for your input, and then you're going to have your leads here to come on the other side. That's actually going to plug into your cable here that you'd use for your solar panels, or you can use it for this Charger 1 now. So in terms of the charging and what this thing's actually capable of inputting, if you plug this thing into grid power, you're going to see somewhere around 13 to 1400 watts roughly, give or take, that you could charge this unit up. That's ultimately going to be the fastest way to get this unit top back off if the battery is dead. However, the solar panel, as I mentioned, being 200 watts, that's really kind of my third option, but that may also differ depending on what solar panel you have in your situation where you're using this thing at. Going on my camping trips, it's going to be very easy for me at the end of a trip to just throw this in the vehicle with us when we're driving down the road, plug into this BLUETTI, and have this thing top back off by the time I get home. Now, in terms of how to actually operate and use and kind of understanding some of the features and settings within this BLUETTI, everything is controlled from your phone. You download the BLUETTI app, and when you get the app downloaded, you can actually hook the BLUETTI app to your power station itself as well as your Charger 1. What's really cool about that is they both show different parameters and different settings. You can also adjust the settings within each unit individually as well. Now, the one thing you're going to have to do when you get into your Charger 1 and set it up is go into the gear icon, that's your settings, and you're going to need to go ahead and select which model BLUETTI you've got, and that's going to set that voltage to either 27 up to 56 volts. That's ultimately giving you the full max power to what your unit's capable of being charged at. Now, if you don't have a BLUETTI and you're trying to charge another one like a Jackery or something like that, you'll just simply need to know what voltage it's capable of having come into it when you're charging that unit up, and then you'll have to manually set the voltage yourself. Now, what I thought was really cool about this is when I'm sitting here idling with just the vehicle running, this unit's capable and it was charging at like 525 watts, and that was the highest I could get it at idle. As soon as I go down the road and I get the RPMs going up in this vehicle and the alternator starts spinning up a little bit, I was actually able to see 550 to 560 watts, give or take. So it does kind of vary based on the engine speed and what the alternator's putting out for you in terms of what wattage your unit's actually going to be getting off that Charger 1. Now, every vehicle is going to be a little different, so you really have to kind of take that with a grain of salt. Obviously, this truck here is a 26 Silverado 2500. It's got the Duramax. I've also got the snowplow prep package on this vehicle, meaning I've got an upgraded alternator. So this vehicle is not going to sweat trying to charge this unit back up. However, if you're in a smaller, like a Honda, something like that, especially some of these older vehicles where they just didn't have a very big alternator to begin with, you may struggle getting up to that full wattage, meaning that you may have to knock the voltage down from your Charger 1 into this unit to be able to get this thing to charge going down the road. It really just depends on your vehicle and what it's capable of doing. So if for some reason you're not seeing that 500 to 600 watts going down the road, you might consider knocking that down to a voltage that might be a little bit more reasonable, and maybe you'll have to settle with charging at 400 watts instead of 500. So just keep that in mind. Now, as far as the fan speed and how this thing sounds going down the road, there is a little fan in here that's going to regulate temperature and kind of push that hot air out. When this thing is running, hear that thing spool up, but being underneath the seat right here where it's still pretty well ventilated for the most part, driving down the road noise is easily going to be louder than what the BLUETTI's running at. But I will throw a clip right now to kind of show you what that fan sounds like when it's running at that max speed. Now, something else I would consider is if you're not running the BLUETTI power station going down the road and you're not charging this thing out, something else I really like about having a breaker on this is the ability that I can go and just turn the charger off when I'm not using it and then flip that breaker back on when I need to be able to do so. When you do shut the vehicle off, your power station should register the drop in voltage, and it should shut this unit off and not charge it while the vehicle is not running to keep from draining your batteries on the vehicle out. The little blinking light on the side of the charger is still going, meaning that something inside here is still drawing power, which creates a parasitic draw on the battery. So that's just something you're going to want to consider. And I would recommend, like I said, just flipping that breaker off from time to time if you're not going to be using this thing for extended periods of time. But other than that, I think that's a quick little overview of this BLUETTI Charger 1. I've been super impressed with it so far. I like the fact that I can pretty much plug in any power station I've got. I've got a couple here at the house that I can now charge going down the road. And one other thing I hadn't even mentioned was the fact that I could not even charge this power station going down the road with the 400 watt inverter that this truck comes with from the factory, because this unit's so picky in terms of the voltage that it sees. So effectively, I had to put this charger in here to be able to charge this thing going down the road anyways. I think that's all I've got for you in this video. You guys make it a great week. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. We'll catch you guys on the next video.